Greetings people, it's Jared here, Wolfgang1, back to do another Transformers review. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I did a Masterpiece. I think the last Masterpiece I did was Smokescreen, and that was fucking a while ago now. So I thought I'd sit down and do a re-review for a figure I did a couple of years ago, and as I recall, I did that review a little bit inebriated. So I'm going to try and do this one, if possible. I'm going to try and do this one sober and see how it pans out. So ladies and gentlemen, please sit down and enjoy this. This is the review for Transformers Masterpiece 12, Sideswipe. Okay, so here's Masterpiece Sideswipe in his box. Now, I know these boxes are supposed to be like sort of more high-end and sort of more collectible, and they look amazing. They really do. But it's getting to the stage now where I'm vastly running out of room, so I'm sort of a bit loath to get rid of this actually, because the packaging is so nice. But after this review's done, it's gone, it's in the bin, it's done. I was thinking about selling it, but then I thought to myself, well, I feel bad for charging someone £5 for a piece of cardboard, really. So Masterpiece Sideswipe. I was pretty much done with the Masterpiece line after MP9 Rodimus and the Hasbro exclusive Skywarp. I fucking hated both of those things, and a dear friend from years ago told me to invest in MP10, and I wouldn't regret it. So I invested in MP10. I was very pleasantly surprised, and then MP11 was Starscream. I didn't get that right away. I got that a few years later, but the next one I got was Sideswipe off eBay for I think £50. And I don't remember if he came with his Masterpiece coin or not. I don't think he did. So I don't have that with me as part of the things to show off the accessories and that. But, whatever. A decent cardboard. It's all written in Japanese, obviously, because it's the Masterpiece line. I don't understand a word of it. It gives you a scale for MP10, because MP10 was then the benchmark for how they were going to scale. And down here, it was the accessories that it came with. Instruction booklet, little... tech spec bio card, 2 pile drivers, a gun and his rocket launcher. That's all that Sideswipe came with. Back in the days when they came with a few accessories and sort of blah blah blah, and it was nice. But now they come with like 150 accessories. Oh, he comes with that thing that he used for like sort of 2.5 seconds in that episode once that nobody remembers, and blah blah blah. We'll chuck another £30 on the asking price for that, please. The accessories thing I sometimes find is a little bit overpowering, especially when I come to Masterpiece Ratchet and Ironhide's reviews. You'll see exactly what I mean there. But yeah, this was back in the time when the Masterpiece line was going for the authentic alt mode thing. So this is officially licensed by Lamborghini, and a decent robot mode, but doesn't rely too heavily on a cartoon inspired robot mode, which I think is partly letting down the Masterpiece line in recent years. The transformations become overly complex. Almost the fun is taken out of them. I mean, I've got MP Sunstreaker, and I will do a review on that when I feel brave enough. I really want MP44, but I don't want to have to take a week off work to transform the fucker. This was when Masterpiece was like really starting to gain traction as like a viable consumer product, and this figure here, following off the heels of MP11 Starscream, which was a remolded Seeker. This guy was like sort of, I didn't hear one bad thing about this figure, basically. Not that I can think of, anyway. And my opinion of him, a decade down the line, I think I got this back in 2010, something like that. No, hang on, no, I didn't. That's a lie. 2012, I got this guy. So yeah, I've had it a decade, and I still think very, very, very highly of it. So despite that, here's the box. The box is lovely. I'm going to be throwing the box away. So let's get straight on in, show the figure itself and the accessories that it came with. Okay, so here's Masterpiece Sideswipe in his alt mode. He's a Lamborghini Countach. I'm not sure what year, 82. It came out in 84, so maybe it was an 82 to 84 model. I don't know. It's lovingly recreated, shall I say. I mean, I've never owned a Lamborghini, never will. obviously, because I'm a poor man. But the detail here is fantastic. The original run of these, if I recall correctly, they didn't tab together particularly well here. I mean, I know my MP Redler has a few issues staying together along these connecting edges and things like that. And whereas the Sideswipe here isn't perfect, after a decade, you know what, he's actually doing remarkably well. In fact, he's doing better now than he was when I got him, which is interesting. I can only assume that I've been fucking around with it for 10 years and I've been doing something wrong for 10 years. But this panel line here, the gap here was always a little bit more pronounced than it actually is at the moment. Nice Autobot symbol right on the hood there. It would have been nice if we could have applied our own on here instead of it being painted on. I appreciate it being painted on, but I kind of like a silver emblem on here, like I've got here with his Generation 1 counterpart. I put a nice silver Autobot steering, and I would have preferred to have that. But do you know what? You can't have everything. It's still a decent representation of this character. Let's show some of the things that Sideswipe came with. He came with 2 of these pile driver things. Now these pile drivers don't look anything like they did that I recall in the cartoon. There was an upgrade kit, I think, from Doctor Who or something like that, where they were silver and they were more angular and pointed, and you could attach those instead of these. I'll be honest with you, I've got these out of the box. I keep these just to have the figure complete. I've never once attached these to the figure. In fact, I've just done the photo gallery for it, and I didn't attach it to the figure there either because I completely forgot that. For me, they're kind of a redundant feature. It's nice to have them. I've never once employed them. Okay. He came with an instruction manual. I've never once used this. I kind of figured out Sideswipe's transformation for myself. So back in the days when the Masterpiece card transformations were not complicated, so involved, fun, not complicated. He came with a little character card here. Back in Japan, it's called Lambor, I guess because of his alt mode. Some tech specs down there, I guess speed, intelligence, strength, endurance, whatever the case may be, and maybe a little bit of bio here. I'm not entirely sure. And he would have come with I've got these connected for some reason. One rocket launcher just here, that fits onto his shoulder via this little peg just here. Now this is all cast in one piece. Well, because I cast in one piece, there's a screw there, but this is all one unit, as opposed to the original G1 where you had to attach the missiles to it separately. Would have been nice to have maybe a little bit of silver detail or black detail here just to differentiate between this and the missile part, but whatever, don't care, doesn't detract from it. And he comes with one rifle that he holds in his hand via a little peg system with a groove in the hand. It's a hit and miss as to whether or not it stays in place, and that was always a bit of a problem with the early Masterpieces, whether or not the guns actually stayed fixed in their hands, because the pegs on the gun just here on the handle maybe weren't long enough for the grooves in the hand or something like that. So when you close the hand up, the gun ends up doing this sort of strange wobbly thing. But yeah, that's the accessories that Sideswipe came with. You can, for the shits and giggles fact, you can combine the 2 of these things. I mean, I'm just showing it off. I don't do this. And you can do an attack mode, which basically you plug this port here into a tiny little black square on the top of the car. Let's see if I can get that to focus. That'd be nice. Little black square just there. You plug it in just like this, and he's got an attack mode. Now, I never use this either. In fact, if it wasn't for the fact that I was fucking around and doing the photo gallery just now, I would have completely forgot that this was an option. You know how I feel about attack modes. With a car that's supposed to be this sleek looking, the sleek by 1980s standards, just kind of looks like a fucking boxy fucker by today's modern standards. But from it does nothing to add to the sleekness of the car. It's just a little bit shit looking. So there we go. I'm going to take that out. There we are. So yeah, as I said, this has been licensed by Lamborghini. Lamborghini allowed the car to actually do a faithful recreation of the real life vehicle. The wheels here are fantastic. They're different to the wheels on the original. Well, actually, no, they're not that different at all. That's a surprise. I was kind of under the impression that all the G1 figures all had standard fucking wheels and that, but no, they have actually gone out of their way to give that a bit of a Lamborghini look on the wheels, just here. That's pretty cool. Never noticed that. I've only, you know, that's only my third Sideswipe in my whole life. G1 Sideswipe. Yeah, basically the wheels look like Lamborghini wheels. There's a little bit of detail on the back there for the lights and everything like that. If we turn the car over, not. I mean, you can sort of see that, you know, there's parts of the robot there, but nothing really gives anything away except this piece here, which is clearly his dick plate, his crutch plate. Apart from that, the rest of the robot mode is pretty much hidden, except this part. Yes, you can kind of see that these will probably become shoulders or parts of the arm at some point. Apart from that, there is nothing in there which suggests what goes where. Now that's kind of cool. Again, a lot of sculpted detail on the bottom there. All this gets completely lost by the time you get to robot mode, but it's nice that they included it for the sake of the alt mode. Not that you ever see it unless you're turning the car over like this, which, you know, whatever. That's pretty much it. Some like sort of the windshield wiper. You've got the wing mirrors here, which, you know, depending on how low you're sitting in the car, I'd be interested to see if you could actually see those really, but, you know, whatevs. Rolls very nicely on these little wheels. The wheels are plastic. They didn't go with like the MP10 thing of like having rubber tires. It would have been nice to have rubber tires on this, but I can sort of see why for a figure this size probably they didn't bother. You think that this is all black, decked out black. It's not. This is clear plastic, and the top of the roof is clear plastic as well. It's been painted, hence why you can clearly see that Sideswipe here is a two-tone red, which, to be fair, on the G1 version as well, is a two-tone red. Actually three-tone, 1, 2, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's the thing about painting over clear plastic, is the colour's never going to come out exactly the same way as the rest of it. Small price to pay, I guess. For me, it doesn't really detract from the figure whatsoever, because once you've got this into robot mode, you don't see this or any of this stuff. It's so it's a negligible point, really. So yeah, as I said, when I got this, MP10 surprised me. I thought maybe that was just like a flash in the pan thing, and like the rest of the Masterpiece line was going to go back to being obnoxiously shit. But this figure very, very pleasantly surprised me. It really did surprise me. So yeah, so we are going to go straight on into transformation, I guess, because it's been a while since I've done this. So this transformation is not difficult, right? I'm a dickhead, right? We all know this. This transformation is not MP Sunstreaker levels of obnoxious. This is just the fact that I haven't done it for a while. So if I start going, what am I doing? It's just me being a prick, and it's not the figure itself. Okay, so we are going to start by opening up the spoiler, just like this. Okay, and then we're going to start trying to bring the wheels, these front wheels, under the vehicle, just like that. They just snap out of place and go like that. Okay. And then we want to start detaching the doors, or what would have been the doors, just like this. Okay, and then we want to bring those out to the side. Then we want to detach the roof of the car from the back of the car very gently, because it's clear plastic and those tabs are clear plastic. There we go. There we go. And we want to bring the front of the car forward like this. We want to then pull out this entire back section. Okay. Just like that. That's all we want to do for that. Just like that. Then we actually, do you know what? Let's work on the bottom. Let's work on the bottom. So we want to bring the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. We want to then separate the back of the car like this. These sections just here, which would have been the tail lights, you want to rotate those down whilst bringing this tab up for the foot and bringing this little section here forwards. Okay. Then underneath the foot, you want to get the heel spur out, get that to one side, and then get it into position. And then this little bit just here, this is a great little bit of transformation, a throwaway transformation. Bring the air vent thing down and forwards, and then wrap the spoiler just like that round the back of the foot, just like that. This section just here, you want to bring this, and this is what I love about hiding like the hollowness. Bring this section down, right? This would have been the underside of the car, and then there's a panel just here that's almost completely hidden. Okay, you want to bring that panel out and bring it to this, and then bring the entire thing, the entire assembly. Actually, get that out of the way. Bring this down and lock it into place with a little tab, just like that. Bring everything back up, and then that is one leg done. Okay, so we're just going to do that really quickly on the other side. Bring that down, bring this forward, bring that out, fold it in, lock it into place, lift up the tail lights, foot, heel spur, down, and then that. So that's your legs done right there. Okay, not entirely sticking together the way it should do. Hold on, why is that? Why are you fucking with me? Don't fuck with me. You've not fucked with me once in 10 years. Don't be fucking with me now. Right? Okay. Then crutch plate, fold that down, bring that down like that, and that's the bottom half of the toy done. Okay. Top half. Right. So we want to detach the windshield from the front of the car. There's a section, just bring those up, bring the bonnet down, and then basically collapse this entire section just here like that. Okay, I don't know if I showed that or not. Like that, and then fold down like this. Okay, so that's almost done. Bring the chest forward, and then this is the annoying bit. There's a little clip just here, right? Let me show this on camera. There's a clip just there that attaches to a very, very small gap just there, right? And you've got to line those up until you hear it snap into place. Like that, okay? Lovely. Right, so this back section here, collapse in the two side windows and fold them underneath the backpack. So they're like that. There we are. Fold them and then fold them round. And then bring the backpack down. We're almost done. This little section here on his head, just bring that forwards like that, so that closes up the head. And then these sections, like this, lift up the section just like this. It's not easy to do this on camera when you're sitting behind the camera. Do that on both sides. Bring these entire sections down, rotate them forwards, and then open up these panels just like this. Flip out the hand. Flip out the hand. Flip out the hand. Like that. Close the panel back up. And that's basically the arm done. So I'm going to do that on the other side quickly. And that right there, despite the fact he needs a little bit of tidying up, but apart from that, bring that backpack into place. I don't know why it's not sitting right. Nope. Fuck you. I know I'm shit, but you don't have to go out of your way to make me look shit. Do you know what? I've got that covered all on my own. I don't need any fucking help at all from you, right? I was singing your praises. Don't fucking make me regret it. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is Masterpiece Sideswipe in robot mode. Now, it's not a particularly tune accurate robot mode. Stand up straight, cunt. There we are. It's not a particularly screen accurate robot mode, but it is evidently and quite clearly Sideswipe, and his proportions are brilliant. He looks the business. Fantastic painted face and some blue painted eyes. Let's see if I can't get a little bit closer on that. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's going to be a bastard. It's going to be a bastard. Focus. There we are. You can see his the detail on his face there, the little blue painted eyes. The trouble is, because of the hood of his face, like the crest of his head just here, the eyes kind of get lost a little bit underneath that. It's a lovely painted detail that they put in, but it does kind of get a little bit lost. But there we go. Articulation wise, Jesus Christ, fucking bring it down, bring it focus. Articulation wise, he's got all the I hate going through the articulation, but it's basically got all the articulation that you would expect from a Masterpiece figure from a decade ago. So the articulation these days is a lot more in depth, but this guy gets all the poses and all the range of movement that you would expect to get from a figure from this era. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much detail there. So let me show you these pile drivers, because this is the first time I've ever fucking done it. You want to basically collapse the hand in like that, and then, at least I assume so, and then yeah, just basically just plug it in. No, you don't. No, or maybe you do. I don't know. It's a bit weird. I've never used it. Never used it. It doesn't go over his hand, so it must do something else. Yeah, I think it's literally just supposed to peg in or clip on. There we are. Yeah, so that's not in there perfect, but basically you connect his pile drives like that. As I said, for me, a completely throwaway gimmick. Doesn't add anything to the figure whatsoever for me. First time I've ever done it, and it's yeah, I've got nothing to say on it, quite frankly. It's nice that they included like a couple of little extra accessories, but you only ever fucking used it once, as far as I'm aware. You can attach the rocket launcher. Come on, get out of there, you fuck. Either here or here. I'm going to opt for this one just here. And then open up the hand. And then, as I said, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Focus. Tiny little groove just there in the palm of his hand. So the gun will sit, once you've fucked around enough, the gun will sit in that groove. And then you close the hand up gently. And as long as you don't fuck around with it too much, it should sit there nicely in that groove. And ladies and gentlemen, that right there is Masterpiece Sideswipe. As I said, the figure is a decade old. I dare say if they did do a re-release actually in two accurate colours and that. I was thinking about getting it, but I thought, well, I'm actually quite happy with the one that I've got, really. Unless it came with like a completely remolded head and like sort of a couple of other things, there wasn't really anything worth replacing this one for. The figure's a decade old when the Masterpiece line was like sort of reinventing itself and going from strength to strength. And 10 years on, for me, at least 10 years on, this figure still really, really holds up lovely. Money well spent, as far as I'm concerned. As I said, articulation where it counts. The sculpted detail on this is lovely. And yeah, this was one of the figures which said to me, do you know what, I'm going to actually maybe pay a little bit more closer attention to the Masterpiece line. And the majority of figures that I've got out of it have not disappointed me at all. For me, along with MP10, because I didn't get the remolded Seeker Starscream MP11, I didn't get that immediately. I got that a few years later. For me, along with MP10, MP12 here, Sideswipe was actually a game changer for me in terms of like deciding to invest in the Masterpiece line outside of what I was doing at the time, predominantly G1 and G1 only collecting. So this was one of the figures which prompted me to take notice of the other things that were going on within the franchise. And it's sorry this review's gone on longer than normal, but for me this figure, as I said, still stands up 10 years on. I guess if they was to redesign it now, if they were to release MP Sideswipe volume version 2, the alt mode would look awesome. The robot mode would actually look clean as fuck, but the transformation process to get there would be an absolute fucking ball ache, and would make me almost regret the purchase. This, on the other hand, the transformations back then were not difficult. That they were fun. I mean, I still get this guy out of the shelf now if I'm sitting there watching a film or something, blah blah, blah, and I want something to do with my hands that doesn't involve wanking. I will get this guy out of the cabinet and I will fuck around with this guy because I still find the process of transforming this intuitive, really enjoyable, and yeah, there's nothing about this which gives me a headache and just goes, oh, do you know, I can't be asked with it. This figure is still the tits, basically. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this review on Masterpiece Sideswipe. This is Joe Gavbarry, also known as Wolfgang1, saying I'll be back next week with more reviews. There's other stuff coming on my channel. There's more 7 days probably at this point, and there's loads of fun because my channel's all about fun, as you might have guessed by now, and me just sitting here having all the fun in the world. So thank you for watching this. I'll be back next week. Until we see each other again, take care.